You're on it.
Hello and welcome to Five Powerful Women. We are here in the San Francisco Bay Area, California, the United States of America, in a beautiful city, Oakland. And I want to welcome everybody here today. This is Five Powerful Women. It came through me years ago. It was created, and I have been unfolding, and the project has been unfolding in a beautiful, beautiful way. My name is Tendai Jordan, and I'm here with five beautiful women today that are very powerful, and I know that you are powerful also. The women of the world, there are like 3.5 billion women, females in the world. Each one an unique expression of the divine with a purpose and a gift to give. We are all connected as one. We are not alone, and we love each other deep down in our hearts. Because when we know that we're not alone, that we have the strength, then we can get through. So Five Powerful Women, just imagine millions of women, five at a time, sitting in a living room, in a kitchen, in the back porch, sharing their experience around a relevant topic. And that experience expresses the victory, the healing, the success, the achievement of women, so that we can live, love, and laugh out loud.
Yes.
So I'm going to introduce these women, or they're going to introduce themselves this afternoon, starting at my right.
Hello, I'm Akanke Adefumi from Claim Your Shiro. I am a personal success coach, and I help executive mothers switch from stress to success in their work, family, and personal lives.
Hello, I'm Takia, mother of three. I'm also a singer, songwriter, and also a higher education advocate. I've been professional in higher education for about 7 years, so that's who I am.
Hi, I'm Reverend Sunshine Michelle Coleman, and my newest endeavor, I'm the founder and senior minister of Authenticity Journey of Renewal. And what we're about is to help people to peel and uncover and discover within themselves who they really are at the core, reconcile, there's something to reconcile, I'm sure, and then express that out into the world as their authentic self.
My name is Sherry Greer, and I am a transformational coach. I work with women, young adult women, teens, and what we do at Butterfly Fields, which is my coaching business. We work with the inner work. We work with the inside first before we manifest things on the outside.
Hi, I'm Marjorie Paul Pearls, and I'm a life designer coach, and I will work with women, taking them from where they are to where they want to go. My dream really is to help women especially reach their dreams, and especially the boomer babes, and those are baby boomer women born during the baby boomer years who are interested in designing their life with passion, fun, and meaning. And thank you, Tendai.
And today, in this powerful energy with these beautiful women, we're going to be talking about, the topic is, how have you come to use your powerful yes and your authentic no? Understanding that the many women that I have known has been their life yesing to the community, to the church, to the synagogue, to the spiritual center, to their families, to their parents, to their yes. Now, when we mature and we want to take care of ourselves, how do we begin to use our powerful, our authentic no? Let's start with, who's first? You? Thank you.
Okay, so I'll just start. So first, I'd like to say that I love my life right now. I have this sense of aliveness and purpose and this level of connection that I always wanted, this sense of freedom. And it's funny because I think about how my life used to be. And I remember waking up in the morning and just slapping the snooze button on the alarm clock like 10 times before I even opened my eyes. I started downloading all of the things I had to get done that day. So I was exhausted before I even got out of bed. And, you know, I was going through life, checking things off of my to-do list, not really being present to what was really happening in my life with my kids. I had a small business I was running on the side, and from day to day, things just seemed like a blur. And I remember feeling just pulled in all these directions, and I was constantly drained and resentful. And I remember talking with a mentor of mine, just complaining about how things weren't working out. And I remember that she said to me, well, is there something else that you can focus on? And I was like, yeah. And she said, great, go do that. And so I was kind of irritated with her, you know, it was kind of flippant, her remark. But, you know, as time progressed, I realized that she really was right. It was really about focusing my attention and my intentions toward a life that I really wanted to live, instead of being focused on what I didn't want. And so for me, that became really this practice of saying yes to the life I wanted and no to all the other stuff that was getting in the way of that. And so as I worked with her, I really started to get clear about who I was, what was really, really important to me, not what I thought should be important or what I was told should be important in my life, but really what did Akanke want for herself, for my life. And so I began to take actions towards living this life that I really wanted. And today my life has transformed. It's done a 180. And now I have all of this time for myself, this me time that I really desperately needed. Time for my desires. I have this amazing supportive community around myself, and I'm really connected with my family and really grounded.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That sounds fabulous. And it sounds to me like what I'm hearing is you used your yes and your no to create the life you want.
Yes.
Go girl.
Yes.
Go girl. I'm loving that.
Everyday practice.
I'm loving that. Yes. And can we all kind of relate to that?
Yes.
Yes.
And
Definitely.
the next.
Me?
Yeah. Jump right in
Similar
there.
story. I've done a lot of things in my life. I'd been a lawyer. I worked doing admissions for a college, and I had a pretty good life, and in many ways a great life. And I always had this, well, it could be better, but I'm okay. To be better, I had to do certain things, and I wasn't willing to do those certain things, even though I knew what they were. They were health, work on my relationship, work on how I feel about myself. And they just didn't seem important enough for me to move to the next level. However, I decided to say yes to that person inside me that was really yearning to get out. And I was getting older. And now you're probably thinking, I wonder how old she is, which I'll tell you in a minute. And I decided I want to go to the next level. And I made a real conscious decision to say yes to that part of myself that was saying, time's wasting, you know, it's now or never. And I really transformed in a lot of areas of my life. So I'll just tell you about a couple. One was health. And I always knew, you know, you exercise, you eat right and all that stuff. And it's like, okay, whatever, you know, I like my food. I like to lie in bed. However, I realized I have to do these things. And I was working with a coach, and she said, now what would blow your mind? And she said to me, why don't you do a half marathon? And I thought, are you freaking crazy?
Okay.
Because I wasn't a runner, A. B, I wasn't a runner. And C, I didn't run. And I thought, okay, it would totally blow my mind. So I did. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do it for my 65th birthday. So now you kind of have an idea of how old I am. And I thought my goals were to not be last, to finish within the prescribed time, and to be an inspiration to other people. Because if I started from, you know, like I ran a little bit, I dabbled, from that to actually doing the marathon. And I walked and ran, I didn't run the whole thing, but it was something. And so I told everybody I was doing it, and I put it on Facebook, and when I didn't feel like going out to do the training, I would remember I have to do it because I'll disappoint all these other people. And I did it. And when I actually did my training run for 10 miles,
Wow.
I cried.
Yeah.
I mean, I did.
And that's
But
great.
then I did the 13.1. And so the other ways I've also transformed was in the relationship with my husband. We had a good marriage, and it was great, but you want to do the things you did when you first got together. Like, I used to write him little love notes, and so 21 years later, now I'm writing him little love notes. And the other, just to end it, is what you do with your state, how you feel. And I developed a morning ritual that includes gratitude and intentions, and now I'm developing an evening ritual. And I know my time is up. Thank you.
Thank
Love
you, thank you. That is fabulous, because I'm hearing the thread starting to come through all that we're talking about, which is decision making and going within yourself to find what is true for you and what works for you. That is absolutely great. Thank you for sharing that. And I knew her then, and I know her now, and she does look so much fabulous. So, okay, yeah. But I'm not gonna say how old I am. But go ahead. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Decisions. I think one of the most challenging experiences that I've had was responding to an authentic no that was screaming on the inside of me. So when I was 26 weeks pregnant, I decided that I was just not happy in the relationship that I was in with the father of my children. And we had a 5-year relationship, and there was nothing that I could tangibly say, well, this is wrong, or this is wrong with him, or this is wrong with the situation. I just wasn't happy, and I didn't want to be in a relationship anymore, and I had no clue how to say that, and I didn't even know how to communicate that to my family. So I just took some steps, made some transitions, and me giving myself an authentic yes turned into me having to really process what it means to hurt somebody really, really bad, and then have to deal with that hurt. Because it wasn't like I could just walk away from the situation because I was no longer happy. I then had to accept the burden of what I had done to somebody. And it wasn't, there wasn't any, in my mind, it wasn't like I had did anything. He couldn't say, well, she did this, and she, it was just like, I'm not growing in this. I need something else. And to explain that is very challenging with somebody who is not willing to accept that. So I think the biggest thing for me was just dealing with the terror and the fear of having 3 children and choosing to not be in a partnership, and knowing that I needed to trust that I would be able to take care of them without depending on anybody in any particular way. And also dealing with kind of like the terror and the fear inside of me with somebody that I felt I kind of turned into an enemy, somebody who initially was just there, and wanting to be supportive just became a complete and antagonistic force in my life.
Takia, how do you feel that when you were moving through this experience, and what was the outcome for you in terms of uplifting you?
this is it. It forced me to fall really deep into my spiritual practice. Like the way that I understand faith and what it means to love and to wrap a situation up in love. One of the affirmations that just kept me and held me is just word on word through everything that is before me. So even when I felt fear or felt like I was dealing with an antagonistic situation, I just wrapped it up in love. Like every thought that I came, like I know that my aspiration was just that that in my mind, I saw him as my absolute best friend, the father of my children, and I still to this day see him as my absolute best friend and a great co-parent. So it was just really a situation where I had to accept saying yes to myself still meant that I had a lot of work to do.
And saying yes to you, did you also find that it's saying yes to other people? Because you're also,
Yes.
when you honor yourself, I truly believe this, when we honor ourselves, we are actually honoring everyone else.
Absolutely.
And because everyone has within them the strength and courage that they need to do and move through things too. And when we say yes, we're opening it up and allowing them to be in their own truth also. I believe that. And I hear nothing but strength coming from, and courage coming from what you're talking about. And I'm sure there's a lot of people, I can relate to that in ways. I let go of some things too that was very difficult. And you had to get out of this whole idea of what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to be as a woman, as a mother, as a, a spiritual person, and just move and do something totally out of race consciousness. Yes, thank you for sharing that.
It reminds me of the quote. I don't know exactly the quote, but it's Marianne Williamson, the one everyone thought Mandela.
Right, I know which one you mean, yeah.
The part where she says, when you do what you have to do, you give other people permission to be who they are.
Yes, good, exactly. Oh, yeah, that was their quote. Cool, thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Bingo.
Bingo.
Hit the nail on the head.
Yes.
There is a thread here, because I believe that it's not either or, like you have to do the yes or the no. I believe it's the both and, because both are powerful and authentic, help you to be in your authentic self when you can rise up and do that. Because I believe I need to look within myself to see, is it a yes or a no? And I believe that we're so acculturated to hear what other people's yes is, and we think it's our yes. So we end up saying yes to something when, if we really self-reflected and looked, it might be a no. And so which are we going to choose? Is it going to be the no when we should have said yes, or is it going to be the yes when we should have said no? And so we need to just like look within and come up with our own decision. And it takes, I believe, courage and faith and to just leap and do that, because sometimes it's going to be hard leaving, their baby's father, 3. I mean, and what? So the story I have with that, just to put some teeth in it for me, my last relationship was loving.